Hi, I'm Chris James, and you're watching A Healthy Alternative. Today, we're going to be talking about the secret to never getting sick again. Stay tuned.
We're missing a piece of the puzzle.
You start getting healthy and you just become a better person.
We need to start focusing more on the individual.
All right, y'all, before we get started today, if you have been paying attention to my subscriber count, I am roughly 1,000 subscribers away from hitting that 100,000 subscriber mark. So if you are not subscribed to the channel and you want to be a part of this monumental success, this cost us 5 years of our life, hit that subscribe button so you could be one of the 1,000 who are going to get this channel to over 100,000 subscribers. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about how to never get sick again. And I know that sounds like some type of pipe dream or fairy tale, or there's no way that this video is what it's really going to be about. We're not going to go into a whole bunch of intimate detail because what I teach as far as how to never be sick again is throughout the content on the channel, right? So as you absorb all the content, you'll get it. But I think more or less I want to talk about the philosophy or the idea behind never getting sick. Number one, what is sickness? Sickness is your body's alert mechanism. It is letting you know that something is wrong. Sickness is not the way that we've been conditioned to believe, meaning it's the root cause or something that should be attacked or is necessarily a bad thing. It's literally just the detox symptoms. So when you get a sniffle, you get a cold, when you have some type of body ache, whenever you're getting a signal from your body in that realm or that space where you're under the weather, it's usually a detox symptom. So reframing that, number one, is going to be very helpful. But that's not the key to never experiencing detox symptoms. That's just really understanding what it is, because modern science, modern medicine, modern philosophy is that we get sick. You've got things like the common cold, where we are cold and flu season is upon us. Actually, flu season has been eradicated over the past year, and pretty much no one's been getting the flu anymore. They've been getting something else that I'm not going to mention, but it's the cold season, right? Now, I've told y'all before that on the summer and winter solstice, I would get like an itchy throat and a runny nose, and that was my sickness. I would get that every year, twice a year. Since I've changed my dietary habits, drink more water, use fasting as a method, and focus on detoxification and revitalizing the systems and my organs, I don't even get the tickly throat thing. All right. So the question is why? Well, because number one, if sickness, especially when you consider like the common cold, is not something that just arbitrarily happens to you. Everything is for a reason. It's cause and effect. The fact that we don't know how to cure the common cold has nothing to do with the fact that it's somehow incurable or something that can't be understood. It's just simply the fact that we're trying to deal with an issue with our hands tied behind our back. Like, we literally don't have the right tools or information. So the way that you deal with the common cold is literally by building your body's natural immune system. There is no other way to do it. There's not a pill, a potion, or herb you could take to replace the body's ability to protect itself. When you decide to start drinking more water, change your dietary habits, adopt a practice like fasting, focus in on, detoxification of different systems and organs, revitalizing the liver, which plays such a huge role in all of this, then guess what? You don't have to worry about whether the fact it's cold or it's hot outside or if there's a bug going around. You won't get it. You won't be affected by it because your body is the best doctor, herbalist, naturopath. It is the best healer in your world. Okay. It has far more knowledge and ability than we give it credit for. Some of us believe in this idea of evolution, which essentially states that we're in a constant state of changing and developing and adapting. And I do believe that we are adapting. We adapt, but it's not like for permanent change. It's really for temporary comfort. The body is going to adapt based on a stimulus that is being presented with in any given moment in time. Okay. But I don't believe that over hundreds of thousands of years we developed from a single cell organism and all that stuff. I think that we were intelligently designed. And that's just my personal belief. If you believe something different, that's completely fine. But when you look at the design of the body, when you really understand what the body is capable of, if you don't see intelligent design there, if you don't see intention there, I mean, I don't want to say that you're blind, but you're you're probably blind. Like, it's obvious that there is something very intentional about how our body functions. All of those human cells that work together towards one common goal, which is homeostasis, making sure that we are in tip-top condition based on the resources and the stimulus provided. It is always looking to keep us healthy. Its primary focus is survival. And I don't think that that just happens by coincidence. So what we need to focus on doing, if you just want to avoid getting sick, and this is not just the common cold. I'm not talking about the common cold. I'm talking allergies. I'm talking stomach aches. I'm literally talking all of the common inconveniences that we would relate to poor health, under the weather, etc., etc. If you want to be able to eliminate all of these things, then what you want to do is focus on a holistic health journey, right? This means you understand that you're not just your physical body. You are physical, mental, spiritual, or energetic. And each one of these essences, each one of these parts of you need to be addressed in a unique way. The goal is to get alignment with all three elements, all the three dimensions that we kind of exist in, and that will produce a body that is capable of maintaining health, a healthy disposition. If you would have asked me 10 years ago, Chris, do you think it's possible to live every day with no pain, no discomfort, none of that? I would say that maybe it's possible, but highly unlikely, right? Like, no one's probably really experiencing that type of life. Now, obviously, I didn't experience that type of life, but what I'm saying is, from the time that I started making these changes till I got to a place where the changes were really solidified in my life, I don't get sick anymore. I don't feel uncomfortable. I don't get bloated. I mean, it's really phenomenal. Now, what do? Well, I stopped drinking soda. That was one thing. But I also took it a big step further, and I got rid of all refined sugar from my diet. The only time that I get refined sugar is when I eat it from, fast food or just going out to eat or, something of that nature. But 90% of the time, I don't consume refined sugar. I don't buy candy bars. I don't buy cupcakes. I don't buy donuts. I don't do any of that stuff anymore. Why? Because I started to learn and understand that it was very detrimental to my body and to the health that I said I wanted. So I cut it out. Not 100%, but enough to where it mattered, right? I cut back dramatically on my alcohol intake. When I was, probably about 5-10 years ago, well, probably closer to 10 years ago, me and my friends would go out. We would drink a lot. We would drink heavy. Over that time span, I moved away from some of the harder liquor and into wine. And then over the past 5 years, I've just reduced the frequency at which I drank. Like, I would still drink wine like once a week or something like that at least. And now it's much more infrequent than that. You know what I mean? I also decided to start cooking more at home. I understand that we have busy lives. We have families. We have children. We have spouses. We've got all these things going on. And that's fine. Think about your priorities. What do you want to prioritize? What kind of outcomes do you desire? And then once you decide what outcomes you want, you focus your energy on getting those outcomes and taking the steps it takes to get there. For me, my health was my priority. It wasn't something I just said. It was something I did. It was a lifestyle that I lived and developed. I decided to dive in, learn more about the body, experiment with many different things. I've invested literally tens of thousands of dollars in education, devices, equipment, herbs. I'm putting my money where my mouth is, and it's netting me phenomenal results. Now, do you all have to do all of that? No, because fortunately enough, you have been following me on my journey. You're a part of our community, so I give this information for the most part free. Most of the information, especially on YouTube, is completely free. I do have some more focused groups where I work with people more one-on-one, and we've developed different programs to give people a little bit more help than what the YouTube channel can provide. But other than that, this information is here. You don't have to do a lot of the trial and error because I'm willing to do it because I want this for myself. And so now as I do reflection and I look back on the past 5 years, I'm like, man, when was the last time I was really sick? I was talking to, actually, we for our 21-day challenge, we got our group together, our coaching group together, and we just kind of introduced ourselves to the group and everything like that. And one of my friends, who's one of the coaches, was like, "Yeah, I just realized that I don't get allergies anymore." Now, in my circle of friends, I would say that at least 2 or 3 of them dealt with extreme allergies. Yeah, about 3 of them. 3 of them had extreme allergies. Okay. I told y'all before, John would be in his room, like with a hot rag over his face, just moaning and groaning all day. Couldn't do anything. He was just, that's how bad his allergies were. My friend Mel, who's one of the coaches, he would just carry around a box of tissues. You know what I'm saying? Like, he always had tissues, and it wasn't year round. It was certain times of the year he would, get these flare ups, and he just announced that he no longer gets them anymore. Why? Well, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, I'm not really sure. I don't want to lie, but fairly recently, he decided to switch from vegetarian to, I think maybe he would consider himself vegan. I'm not really sure. But even more recently, he's been eating a lot of raw food. And guess what? His allergies went away. So he pretty much only drinks water. I know that he's reduced or eliminated his alcohol intake almost entirely. He's been increasing the amount of raw foods he eats, and he's reeled his vegetarian diet in, and really, he stays away from like cheese and any like eggs, any dairy products, any meat products. He's really refined what he eats. And now guess what? He doesn't get allergies anymore, which was the most sick he would get, because he was already a vegetarian at the time. He's in great shape. You know what I mean? So he was doing pretty well for himself, but the allergies would kick his butt once a season or whatever it was. And now that's gone. And so now he's been, he's hopped on the don't get sick anymore train. And it's a phenomenal train to be on. The other thing that's great about this disposition is when something is going on, instantly, right? If I eat something, or even if I'm trying a new product. Recently, I've been trying a new product that I'm extremely excited to share with you all. That's going to be coming very, very soon. I'll be sharing this with you all. But when I started taking it, I started noticing detox pimples. I was getting them on my face. I got one now. And I also was getting them on my arms and my finger, all over the place. I was getting these detox pimples. And they're really just exit points for material. And we'll talk more about that when we dive into this. But I think this is going to be something you all are going to really, really enjoy. I know I am. But that's not what this video is about. The point is, when I try a new product, I know whether or not it's working for me because I have an amazing baseline, right? I can feel my internal environment. I can feel my organs. I'm not always inflamed. I'm not always bloated. I'm not always gassy. I'm not always in pain. I'm not always randomly getting colds. So because I have such a clean baseline, any little thing that goes on, I know. My nose starts getting stopped up. My nose isn't always stopped up, so I know something's going on. Whether I'm in a room where I need some fresh air, or it's a detox symptom or whatever, I'm so much more aware of my body. And then that really takes you into a whole new realm that, it's kind of hard to explain, because it's a level of awareness that allows you to move differently. And one of the things that a lot of people struggle with is staying on the path of health and wellness. But if you all understand that it is not just about losing weight or reversing that disease, it's about increasing your quality of life holistically, right? And with this newfound clarity of mind, body, and soul, you also will do better in interpersonal relationships. Your financial life, whether you're a business owner or an employee, will be increased. Your spirituality, whatever it is that you're interested in doing better at increasing, learning more, right? Just it helps your baseline. I mean, the only time I'm sick is when I call in and pretend like, I don't feel good. You know what I mean? But other than that, like, I'm good. So anyway, I just wanted to share this joy with you all because it's something that I've recently been vibing on a lot lately, especially after going down this path for so many years and seeing the consistency of it, right? It's so worth it. It's so worth it. What? To give up meat, dairy products, processed foods, and refined sugars. And I don't even tell y'all you got to give it up in 100% entirety. I've told you all many times, I still have my vices. I still enjoy a little wine every once in a while. You don't have to give up everything 100%, but you get to this amazing baseline and it helps keep you from going overboard. You know what I mean? From just getting too far off the beaten path. And you get to experience this amazing life of clarity, high energy. Like, I never have to worry about energy levels. So many people at my age are dealing with adrenal fatigue, low energy, not wanting to get up in the morning, just all these issues that I just don't have. Inflammation, right? When you're dealing with inflammation, you fall, you hurt yourself. It stacks, it builds on each other. And then, you're not even 40 years old and you walking around like you're 50 or 60. Because you got all this inflammation. I don't got to worry about any of that stuff. And I really want you all to be able to enjoy it as well. So I figured I'd share some of this energy with you. We're coming up on the holiday season. We're coming up on the cold and flu season. It doesn't have to be the way that you perceive it to be. There's a lot of things we've been conditioned to believe is just life, and it's not. It doesn't have to be a part of life. So hopefully this resonates with you. I'm going to be getting a team together and we're going to go live and we're going to just talk about what are the benefits we have personally experienced from being on this journey. Because I think we're so focused on how uncomfortable this journey can be sometimes, we really forget about the great benefit and even the things we can't comprehend. Like, before I actually was getting these outcomes personally, there's a lot of stuff that I could never really comprehend. It wasn't realistic in my reality. So there is a bit of, I don't even know if it's faith, because you could see us getting the outcomes. But, there's always that thing in the back of your head that says, well, it worked for them, but is it going to work for me? Yes, because our bodies function in a very similar manner. And we all deserve to be able to have a healthy baseline. And the more that we learn and the more that we digest, the quicker and more efficient we can get to these outcomes so that we can affect a larger group of people, because there's been some really nasty things done to us as a populace of the earth. And some of the things that have been done to us take a little bit more time to deal with, a little harder to get, to fix and rectify. But I think that myself, as well as the rest of the team, we're confident, even when we hit a road bump or obstacle, we're confident that we can get over it. And I'm just excited about the future, where the brand is going. And those who are interested in getting similar outcomes, come with us. We're more than happy to help you. I hope you all enjoyed that video. If you did, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Listen, we're almost at 100,000 subscribers. Make sure you subscribe. If you've subscribed already, make sure you're still subscribed, because sometimes you get unsubscribed. Hit the notification bell. I've got a couple of announcements that are going to be coming out over the next week or so. So just make sure that you're locked in, tuned in. If y'all are interested, you can plug into our newsletter, which can be found on thehealthyalternative.org. Just scroll to the bottom of the page and you'll see where you can join our newsletter, and that way you won't miss out on anything. Although sometimes our stuff goes to spam, but that's another story. Anyway, as always, the application of knowledge is power, and I'll see you all next time.